Drop it. Check it. Check this out. Drop, 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 drop. Check, drop, 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 drop. Check, drop, 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 drop. Check, drop, 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 drop. Check it. Drop, 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 drop. Check, drop, 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 drop. Check, drop, 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 drop.
Greetings. We are anonymous.
Drop it. Check it. Check this out. Drop, 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 drop. Check, drop, 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 drop. Check, drop, 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 drop. Check, drop, drop, drop it. Check this out.
thinner. That way you can easily wind it up, and then you'll end up with something like this. This is actually 2 coils. This is one, this is the other. And I'll be talking about the center coil. Actually, it's 2 coils on top of each other, as you can see, and they're just series connected. The top coil inside is connected to the bottom coil outside. That way the magnetic field is the same for both coils and the dielectric field is.
Of his treatment, Rife would later write, "With the frequency instrument treatment, no tissue is destroyed, no pain is felt, no noise is audible, and no sensation is noticed. A tube lights up and 3 minutes later the treatment's completed. The virus or bacteria is destroyed and the body then recovers itself naturally from the toxic effect of the virus or bacteria. Several diseases may be treated simultaneously." His findings were at first widely published. In June of 1940, the LA Times reported, "For organisms too small to be stained, an ingenious illuminating system is used. The system utilizes Rife's theory that organisms respond to certain wavelengths, a theory he carries to finality by bombarding disease germs with radio waves which are tuned to those of the minute man-killers. And the virus he says occurs in cancer has, Rife insists, disintegrated under such radio waves." Rife was hailed in the scientific and medical communities for his discoveries, at first. By 1937, he'd established a company called Beamray with several colleagues, and 14 of his machines were manufactured. Multiple doctors used these machines, tested them out, and saw that they worked. It wasn't just Rife's word. So what happened? Why aren't these machines in every hospital and cancer treatment center in the world today? Why don't we have them? Simply put, the only cancer Rife couldn't seem to kill was greed.
We are anonymous.
I am playing sound frequencies through my Bluetooth plasma ball. Sound frequencies are healing, and Royal Raymond Rife experimented and cured many people a long time ago of various diseases, including cancer. A long time ago of various diseases, including cancer.
Is a cell tower going up in your neighborhood? If it's not now, it may soon. Wireless carriers are installing millions of them across the country to enable the new, faster 5G cell phone technology. But tonight, Julie Watts asked the question you're not supposed to ask. Are there legitimate health concerns?
A group of scientists, doctors, environmental organizers, and concerned citizens got together and they called for the urgent stop to the deployment of 5G. They said that it's been proven harmful to human bodies, that this is an experiment on humanity, and that this should be called a crime under international law.
A knight is sworn to valor. A knight is sworn to valor. His heart knows only virtue. His heart knows only virtue. His blade defends the helpless. His blade defends the helpless. His might upholds the weak. His might upholds the weak. His word speaks only truth. His word speaks only truth. His wrath undoes the wicked. Undoes the wicked.
We are anonymous.
While you were all sleeping overnight, the number of diagnosed cases in China increased by 30%. Now, let me be clear, that's not new cases, that is just newly admitted.
We are anonymous.
As the coronavirus cracked the Great Firewall of China, people demand government action after the virus kills the doctor who first sounded the alarm. Can China's leaders contain the online anger about the cover-up?
These are images the Chinese government doesn't want you to see. A medical center in Wuhan, the epicenter of the coronavirus outbreak. Under stress, short on supplies, overwhelmed with patients. The video is from Chun Cho, a lawyer who made the risky choice to become a citizen journalist and defy government efforts to control information.
In front of me is the virus, and behind me is the legal and administrative power of China. As long as I live in this city, I will continue to report. I only report what I see, what I hear. I'm not even scared of death. You think I'm afraid of the Communist Party?
We are anonymous.
Now Chun is gone. He disappeared last week and has not responded to messages. So far, authorities will only say he is, quote, under control. Amnesty International say he's been forcibly quarantined. And he's not the only one to pay the price for defying state authority. The blogger Fang Bin took this video from a hospital in Wuhan. It seems to show body bags, victims of the virus. Then he received a menacing knock on his door.
我的体温正常啊，那个刑法上面有一条，我体温正常啊。如果你的病传了给人家，对吧？问题是我没有病啊，我体温正常啊。你这样，你拿个身查证来，我不废话，你去拿个搜查证来，你拿搜查证来。如果你够法律条件，我们就按法律办，好不好？你找搜查证来，你没有传递，私人的住宅不允许任何人上床，我有法律保护，好吧？
Fang had been posting videos daily, proof that he was free. Those uploads stopped on Monday and he's been unreachable by phone, fueling speculation of his arrest. When Li Wenliang, a doctor in Wuhan, warned of the virus in December, authorities accused him and several others of severely disturbing the social order. Now he's dead, one of the more than 1,000 people in China to succumb to coronavirus so far. Mourning and anger have marked his passing. Online and off, in defiance of the state's threats, pressure is mounting on Chinese authorities to come clean on what's happening in Wuhan. And that includes wanting to know what's happened to people like Chun Cho and Fang Bin.
Okay, let's get the latest on the situation in China now with DW's Matthias Büllinger joining us from Beijing. Good day to you, Matthias. What information are people in China not getting that they so desperately want to hear?
Well, nobody in China knows whether these numbers that we see are real. Every information that we get from Wuhan is that it might even not be deliberate. It might also be deliberate, but it might also not. But a lot of patients have not been diagnosed yet. People are queuing up in hospitals. In order to be admitted to a hospital, you need to show symptoms of the disease and you need to be tested. Today I spoke to a woman who told me that her mother, who had been showing symptoms and was severely ill for 10 days, had been tested 2 times negative until she was tested positive. So until that moment, she was also not in the statistics. So there is the mess on the ground that seems to be going on is, of course, has an impact on the statistics. This is one thing. The other thing is that there is, of course, a deep-sitting mistrust of what authorities report, what authorities allow to report. Everybody in China knows there is censorship, and of course this is why these citizen journalists go there to get a glimpse of reality.
Okay, the state is responding to what you described as deep-seated mistrust. I want to quote a state media here. It says, anyone who tries to cover up the extent of the outbreak will be nailed on the pillar of shame for eternity.
Here it says, anyone who tries to cover up the extent of the outbreak will be nailed on the pillar of shame for eternity.
人类都在准备着跟共产党的脱钩，谁还能制止？你就是，那你就太牛了。
Could spread from human to human, and it started publishing figures, and these figures are rising. So to some extent, China is admitting that something is happening, but whether it's living up to any standards of transparency is something that's very hard to say without independent investigations and reporting. And China has not allowed journalists to report freely, although more freely than before, and it has not allowed or has limited independent assessments by specialists. So no, it is not, of course, living up to transparency as we understand it.
Well, I guess we'll never know for sure, Eric, but you've got to believe we lost several weeks of critical time here when Dr. Lee was trying to alert people to the dangers of this potential new virus, and instead of being listened to and thanked by his government, as you said, he was actually arrested. He was detained. He was forced to recant his story. And now what we've had is an explosion of that virus over the last several weeks in central China. Dr. Li himself, of course, is dead tragically from the virus. And now China faces hundreds of millions of its own citizens attacking the government for its response, and specifically for its suppression of freedom of speech. And it's on a scale that I think China experts say we haven't really seen since Tiananmen Square.
Anonymous. We are Legion. We do not forgive. We do not forget. Expect us.